A very good morning, children. Today in Maths, we are moving on to our next chapter, chapter 6, numbers up to 1000. So we have already learned in our first chapter, numbers till 200. So here we are going to learn the numbers up to 1000. So we all know the numbers from 1 to 100. How is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so it goes. And after 10, what is the next 10? It is 20. Then 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So we have all learned this in our previous classes. So now let's check the numbers from 100 to 200. Now when we reach 99, what will be the next number? We have to add 1 to the number to get the next number. If it is 99, if we add plus 1, we will get the next number, that is 100. And 100, we know that is a 3-digit number and 100 is the smallest 3-digit number. And from 100, how will we count? The same pattern follows. 101, 102, 103, 104 and so it goes. And when it reaches 199, what will be the next number? So 199 plus 1, we will get the next number and that is the next 100. That is, it is equal to 200. So after 100, which is the next 100? 200. Now here is a table of numbers from 200 to 300. Again the same pattern follows. 201, 202, 203, 204, 205 and this pattern follows. And then when it reaches the number 299, it will be, the next number will be 300. That is the next 100. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 and so it goes. Here you can see some blocks. We have already learned the place values. So here you can see 10 blocks. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 blocks. That means it is 10 ones. So 1 block represents ones. So how many ones are there? There is 10 ones, or we can say that it is 110. There are 10 blocks and each block here represent ones. So it is 10 ones. 10 ones is equal to 110. Here you can see again a block of 10. Here how many blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 blocks and this block we say it as 110. Here how many tens are you able to see? See, this block represents 110. So 2 blocks, how much it will represent? So 10 plus 10 is 20. So let's count how many blocks are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 blocks of tens. So how much it will be? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we can say that 10 tens is equal to 100. So 10 tens is equal to 100. Then 20 tens will be 200, 30 tens will be 300, 40 tens makes 400, 50 tens is 500, 60 tens is 600, 70 tens is 700, 80 tens is 800, 90 tens is 900. So now let's move on to our next topic, that is forming numbers. Here you can see the blocks. We always know the place value. When we count, we started from the ones place, from the right side. So this block represents ones and this block, we have seen it already, it represents tens. You can see that there are 10 blocks. So that position is the tens. See, ones, tens, hundreds. So this represents ones block, this represents tens block and this represents hundreds block. See, this is a hundreds block. It takes 10 base 10 blocks to make a hundreds block. So 10 tens makes 100. So if there are 10 blocks of tens, it makes 100. So here you can see some blocks. How many blocks in the first picture you can see? You are able to see in the ones place, tens place and hundreds place. So in this hundreds place, how many hundreds block are you able to see? You can see that there are 200 blocks. So how can we write there? We can write this as 200 plus this is tens place. So how can we write here? How many tens block are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5 tens makes 50. So write it as 50 plus we'll move on to the ones place, and how many ones block are there? There is 2 blocks, so we'll write it as 2. So now we got 200 plus 50 plus 2, and what is the number? 252. So we read this as 252. Here let's see how many hundreds blocks are there. There are 3 hundreds block. So we can write it as 300 plus how many tens block are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4 tens makes 40. So write it as 40 plus how many ones block is there? There are 2 blocks. So it is 2. And how can we form the number with this? 342. So how can we write it? 342. So this is how we read this number. Now let's check some more examples. Here you have blocks of hundreds, tens and ones. And now let's form the numbers. So in the first one, how many hundreds block are you able to see? You can see 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 hundreds blocks. So how can we write it? You can write it as 300 plus how many tens block are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and that is 5 tens makes 50. So write it here 50 plus how many ones block? We can see 2 ones block. So write it as 2 and what is the answer? 352. Let's check the next one. In this, how many hundreds block are you able to see? There are 2 hundreds blocks. So we can write it as 200 plus how many tens block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 tens blocks makes 90. 90 plus the ones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 ones are there. Write that 8 here and what is the number? 298 is the answer. Let's do the last one. Here how many hundreds block are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it becomes 400. 400 plus the next the tens block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 tens makes 80. So write that 80 there. And then next we'll go to the ones section. How many ones blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So write that 5 here. So now what is the number? 485. That is the number. So this is how we form numbers. Next, let's move on to a next topic. Numbers on abacus. So what is an abacus? Abacus is an instrument to do mathematical calculations. You can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. on an abacus. So now let's see. Here you can see an abacus and it has 3 spikes. You call it the spikes. And each spike is having some beads. So we always start from the right side, that is from the ones. So ones, tens, 100 and we start reading it from the left side. So here in the ones position, so O represents ones, tens is represented by T and H represents hundreds. So in the ones place, how many beads are you able to see? You are able to see 2 beads. So ones place represents the place value is 1. So if there is only 1 bead, the place value is 1 itself. If there are 2 beads, the place value will be 2. Moving on to the tens place, if there is 1 bead on the tens place, we can say one bead on the tens spike, we can say the number is 10. If there are 2 beads, we can say that it is 20. So the number changes according to the place value. And in the hundreds place, one bead represents 100. And if there are 2 beads, it is 200. So we'll see here. Here in the hundreds place, how many beads are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can write it as 400 plus tens 1, 2, 3. So 3 tens makes 30 plus how many beads are there in the ones position? There is 2. So it is 432. Now let's see another example. Here also you can see an abacus, and in the hundreds place, how many beads are you able to see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 beads are there in the hundreds place. So 6 hundreds makes 600. So write 600 plus how many beads are there in the tens position? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tens makes 50 plus how many beads are there in the ones position? Here you can see that it's written units. Units and ones are the same. So how many beads are there in the ones position? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 beads. So write it 9. And what is the answer? 659. So by looking at the abacus, we can write the numbers in such a way. This is there in your textbook, page number 78. So here you can see an abacus. Here also hundreds, tens and ones are represented. See the A, there are 2 beads in the hundreds column. There are 2 beads in the tens column. There are 3 beads in the ones column. So how can we write it as 200 plus 20 plus 3, and the number is 223. So how do we read it? 223. The next one you can see in the hundreds position, tens position and ones position, there are 9 beads. So in the hundreds position, if there are 9 beads, it becomes 900. In the tens place, if there are 9 beads, it becomes 90. And in the ones place, if there are 9 beads, it becomes 9. So what is the number? 999. So this abacus represents the number 999. And see the last one. Here you have ones, tens, 100 and 1000. So in the 1000 only you can see one bead. That is, it is 1000. So after number 999, what will be the next number? It is 1000. So we already learned that to get the next number, we have to add 1. So 999 plus 1 is equal to 1000, and this 1000 is the smallest 4-digit number. You can see ones, tens, 100, 1000. So 1000 is the smallest 4-digit number. So here also you can see ones, tens, hundreds, 1000. 1000 is represented by TH. So how do we read it? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands.